Welcome to the CETEC podcast, your go-to source for everything environmental engineering. Join us as we delve into sustainable industrial practices, exploring topics like wastewater treatment, water purification, solid waste management, air quality control, noise and vibration, environmental impact assessments, and the latest in environmental legislation. Whether you're a seasoned professional, an industry leader, a student, or simply someone eager to make a positive impact, you're in the right place. Together, let's pave the way to a sustainable future, one episode at a time.
Hello everyone, welcome you back for another episode of our video series which we discuss on environmental engineering aspects, especially in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is known for its stunning natural landscape, and our biodiversity is among the richest in the world, making this small island a global hotspot for natural lovers. But once we progress, we face critical question: how do we balance our economical growth and this environmental preservation? So today we are going to explore the cornerstone of our Sri Lankan efforts to safeguard the environment, the National Environment Act. So this legislation has been the significant act where it has been the backbone of our environment policy for over 4 decades, evolving through significant revisions and to meet the challenges of each era. So we'll close a look at its origin and its key provisions and how it has shaped the environmental landscape of Sri Lanka. So whether you are an industry owner or a government officer or environment activist or policymaker, or is simply someone who cares about the environment, the future of our planet, this understanding of this act is really crucial. So let's dive into the content. So roots of the Sri Lanka's environmental legislation can be traced back into late 1970s and the period where this rapid industrialization and rapid urban expansion has occurred. So with this economy been opening up and industrial booming, the environmental cost has begun to manifest clearly, so that the government recognized this need and they have come up with a comprehensive legal framework to manage and mitigating this environmental impact. So this led to the enactment of National Environment Act number 47 of 1980. That is this pioneering piece of legislation at that time, and that this act has mainly formulated the Central Environment Authority, and it has provided a structured approach for the environment management, focusing pollution control, conservation of biodiversity, and integration of environmental concentration into development planning. This National Environment Act of 1980 laid down several foundational provisions that have guided Sri Lanka's environmental policy ever since. So that the provision has been designed to address the key areas like pollution control, conservation of biodiversity, that environmental impact assessment process, and public participation such as. So when we consider the act, basically the act is Act has authorized Central Environment Authority to undertake surveys and investigation to investigate the causes, nature, extent, and prevention of pollution, and to assist and cooperate other persons or bodies carrying out the similar surveys or investigation, and to conduct, promote, and coordinate the research related to the environment management, and to specify standards, norms, and criteria for the protection of beneficial use and for the maintaining the quality of environment, and to publish reports, information with respect to any aspects of environment protection, and undertake investigations and inspection to ensure the compliance with this act, and investigate complaints relating to this non-compliance as of it's related to any industry. And again, it has enforced the CEA to specify methods and to adapt or taking samples and making tests for the purpose of this act, and to provide information and education to the public regarding the protection and improvement of the environment, establish and maintain the connection with the other countries and other international organizations, and to promote, encourage, coordinate, and carry out the long-range planning in environment protection and management, and encourage, promote, and give efforts to methods to converting and utilizing residues. So these have been the major points that the Act has given authority to the Central Environment Authority, and with these authorities, the Central Environment Authority has the power to deal with the following areas, such as the land use management, land use schemes, natural resource management and conservation, and they have come up with the management policies for fisheries and aquatic resources, and management policy for wildlife, forestries, and soil conservation, environmental research. So those areas has been addressed by the Central Environment Authority through this Act. So then in 1988, the Sri Lanka took a significant step forward in protecting its environment, and they have amended this original National Environment Act. So it has the amendment comes as Act number 56 of 1988. They have introduced addressed several important challenges, and so one of the key update was enhancement of Act's focus from merely protecting the environment to also managing and improving its quality. This shift recognized the growing need not just to prevent damage, but to actively enhance the environmental conditions across Sri Lanka. So when it comes to the pollution control aspect, the amendment introduced the stricter regulation on pollution control, and it has given the authority for Central Environment Authority, or the CEA, to issue the license for the activities that could potentially harm the environment, such as discharge of waste into air, water, and soil. So this means that industries had to meet the specific standards to operate, and pushing many to adopt the cleaner technologies by introducing this license procedure. And industrial and agriculture aspect also for industries, that this means a new era of compliances. So factories were now required to manage waste more effectively, reducing the impact on the air and water quality. So in agriculture, the amendment encouraged more sustainable practices by regulating the use of pesticides and controlling soil pollution as well. And then this has created greater accountability, so that the CA has given the authority to monitor and regulate this environment impact more rigorously. And so overall, this 1988 amendment was a major milestone in Sri Lanka's environment journey. It laid the groundwork for more sustainable industrial and agricultural practice, ensuring that economic growth did not come at the expense of environment. So today, this act continues to guide how the industries operate. So and also another very important aspect of 1988 amendment was introduction of environment impact assessment process. So shortly we call it as EIA. So EIA is the process or systematic process to evaluate the potential environment effects of a proposed project or development, considering the interrelated socio-economic and cultural and human health impacts. So under 1988 amendment, the EIA has become a mandatory for prescribed projects. So these prescribed projects must undergo EIA process before receiving approval. So these the prescribed projects typically includes large-scale infrastructure development, industrial projects, and any activity likely to have a significant environmental impact. So then under the same amendment, they have identified the project approval agencies as well. So specific state agencies were designated as a project approval agency, which are responsible for overseeing this EIA process. These agencies ensure that the EIA are conducted properly and their findings are considered in decision making. Another step in this EIA process was to get the public involvement, so that Once the EIA report has been submitted, the notice are published in gazettes and newspaper, inviting public to review the report. So the public got a 30-day window to submit their comments or objections. So project approving agency may also hold a hearing to discuss these comments, ensuring the transparency and community involvement. So after this 30 days period, after reviewing the EIA report and the public feedback, the project approving agency decides whether they approve the project or not. So once the approval is granted, then it is also again published in gazettes and newspaper, maintaining the transparency. Even after the approval, the project are monitored to ensure the compliance with the environmental standards and conditions set during the approval process. So these are the main things where the 1988 amendment has incurred for this National Environment Act. And again, in year 2000, Sri Lanka further strengthened its environment protection framework through amendment number 53 of 2000. So this amendment introduced a critical update that expands the scope of environment regulations. One aspect was licensing of the prescribed activities. One of the key changes brought by this amendment was the introduction of more stringent license requirement for activities that discharge, deposit or emit waste into the environment. So referred as prescribed activities. So these activities are identified by the ministry as having a potential to cause significant environmental pollution. So under this amendment, no person can carry out a prescribed activity without a license. And these licenses are subjected to strict standards to ensure the environmental impact is minimized. Then if a person found to be conducting prescribed activity without having a necessary license, they face penalties, including fines as well. So furthermore, the court can order closure of any factory or premises that continues to operate without a license until compliance is achieved. So this ensures that the environmental regulations are strictly enforced and that the violators are held accountable. So in this 2000 amendment also, there has been significant improvement for the environmental impact assessment process as well, so that the amendment extend the validity period of the license from 12 months to 3 years, which reduced the administrative burden for the business while ensuring the ongoing compliances. And this act mandate that all environment impact assessment reports must be made available for public inspection in newspaper published in Sinhala, Tamil and English. This ensures the EIA process is transparent and accountable for the all citizens. And additionally, they have introduced the initial environmental examination report as well, which are the preliminary assessment conducted for certain projects are now classified as public documents through this amendment. And this means that these reports are open for public inspection. So by this Environment Act, it has a profound impact on industries across the country, influencing how business operate and pushing them towards more sustainable practices. While initially this was seen as a challenge by many industries and it has created some problem as well, but industries has eventually embraced this enforcement and they have complied with the regulation. So for industries such as manufacturing, the Act introduced stricter regulation on emission, waste management and resource usage. So factories was required to install pollution control technologies such as effluent treatment plants to reduce the environmental footprint. While these regulations initially increase the operational cost, they have also driven industries to become more efficient and reducing waste and conserve resources. And so in the agriculture sector, the Environment Act played a crucial role in promoting sustainable farming practices. Regulations on pesticides use and soil conservation have encouraged farmers to adapt the more sustainable farming systems or techniques, and this has positively impact to the tourism sector as well, because that is one of our main foreign income source. So This legislation emphasizes on the conservation, and it has led to development of ecotourism as well. And while the businesses focus on sustainable practices that protect natural resources while providing unique experience for the visitors as well. So then again, this conservation measures has been important to protect the Sri Lanka's biodiversity, and it has again boosted the country's reputation as a destiny for a responsible tourism. Then but there are some challenges has been also faced by the industries when meeting these strict standards, and they have to bear considerable significant investments for new technologies to comply with the standards, and small businesses in particular have struggled with the financial burden of meeting these standards, and sometimes there has been some conflicts also between the industry and regulators, and industries that were slow to adapt has faced fines and some legal action as well. However, for those industries that have been embraced this change and the Environment Act, thus he created the opportunity for growth and innovation, because companies that have invested in these green technologies and sustainable practices are now seeing the benefits in terms of this shift by reducing their operating cost and improved brand reputation, and they have gained access for new markets. So this shift towards sustainability is not just a regulatory requirement, it has becoming a competitive advantage nowadays in the global marketplace. So that the Environment Act has been a driving force in shaping the way industries operate in Sri Lanka, and by setting these high standards for environment protection, the Act has pushed industries to innovate, adapt sustainable practices, and contribute to national environment goals. So the future of Sri Lanka's environment and economy depends on this ability to balance this growth with the sustainability. So Environment Act has laid a groundwork, but it is up to industries and the general public, basically especially for the industries, to lead the way forward by continually investing in green technologies, reducing waste and conserving resources. So business can ensure that they remain in both profitable and responsible steward of our natural resources. So with that, I would like to conclude today's video, and in the next coming videos we will be particularly discussing about the specific aspects of the Environment Act which are directly related to certain industries. So today this was a general discussion about the National Environment Act, but in upcoming videos we will be discussing about the specific aspects and regulations related to specific industries. So thank you very much for joining with us, and please do subscribe to our channel, and hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you.